All right, guys, buckle up because today we're diving into something absolutely mind-blowing. We're talking about chess, that classic game with the black and white squares. You know, you've got 32 pieces in total, 16 white and 16 black, moving around on a board with 64 squares. 32 dark, 32 light. Simple enough, right? Well, hold on a second. Even though we've got these incredible brains out there solving crazy equations and supercomputers crunching trillions of calculations per second, get this. Nobody has ever been able to figure out the total number of possible moves in a game of chess. Seriously, think about it. A regular person, you don't need to be some math whiz, can easily tell you that there are 20 possible moves for the very first move. Then boom, by the second move, we're already looking at 400 possibilities. By the third, 8,902. The fourth, a whopping 197,281. And get this, by just the 10th move, the theoretical number of possible games skyrockets to over 69 quadrillion. That's 69,352,059,712,417. Let that sink in. So the big question is, with the official international chess rules, how many different games could theoretically be played? Believe it or not, the answer, from what I've dug up, is a lot. Like a ridiculous amount. We're talking numbers bigger than anything you've probably ever heard of. Back in 1950, in a philosophical journal article called Programming a Computer for Playing Chess, this brilliant American mathematician, cryptographer, and electrical engineer named Claude Shannon used the number 10 to 120. That's a 1 followed by 120 zeros. Just to illustrate how complex it would be to program a computer to play chess by analyzing every single possible position. To give you some perspective, if Claude Shannon's calculations are even close, the number of possible chess games is more than 10 septillion times the number of atoms estimated to exist in the entire observable universe, which is only around 10 to 80 atoms. Now, Shannon's 10-player 120 was based on the assumption that every game lasts exactly 40 moves per player, so 80 moves total, which, let's be honest, is a pretty rough and inaccurate estimate. Current chess rules include the 50-move rule, which states that if 50 consecutive moves happen without any pawn moves or captures, the game can be declared a draw. This means a theoretical maximum game could go on for around 11,800 moves, give or take 100. So even though 10 to 120 is an unimaginably large number, it's still way too small to truly represent the theoretical number of possible chess games. And it gets even crazier. Godfrey Hardy, a famous 20th century British mathematician, came up with an estimate that's just out there. He suggested a possibility of 10 to 1050. Listen to this carefully. That's a 1 followed by 100 quintillion zeros. This number is so huge I can't even write it out properly. And I have absolutely no idea what to even compare it to so you can wrap your head around it. As for whether it's accurate, well, we'll just have to leave that open because no scientist has had enough free time to actually verify what Godfrey Hardy calculated. Now, it's important to remember that the theoretical number of chess games includes every single possible game, even the most bizarre and nonsensical ones you can imagine. That's why we also have an estimate for the number of reasonable chess games, meaning the games that are actually plausible and where you'd try to win if you had a chance, and wouldn't intentionally throw the game. That number is around 10 to the 40. To put that in perspective, if all 7.7 billion people on Earth, young and old, paired up and played one unique chess game every single day, it would take us over 7.1 non-alien years to play through all the reasonable games. And that's just the reasonable ones. And if your head isn't spinning enough already, here's a bonus fact. Back in the Song Dynasty in China, a scholar named Shen Kuo estimated the number of possible legal positions on a Go board, a game where players aim to surround more territory than their opponent, to be around 1,072. That's a 1 followed by 172 zeros. Do you have anything to add? Feel free to leave it in the comments below. Share the video if you find it useful, And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss any videos from the channel. Goodbye and see you next time.